It's bad. Anime.
I hit the button to make the recording thing happen.
I hit the red button to my name's John.
My name's Rob.
And this is Bad Anime, the show where we decide, is this anime bad? So what's this, Rob? What the hell is this? What the hell did you drop on me? I was saying right before we started, I was
you
like,
just want to know why.
I just wanted to know, like, where you found this. Why, not even to, like, talk about the thing that much. I mean, we can. Like, we probably should.
I guess we're a podcast, so we should talk about the subject of today's episode.
I guess we should. But mostly, I just want to know how you found it and where. And if you knew anything about it beforehand. And also, because on YouTube, I think it's got like over 200K views or something. So, I mean, it's nothing to scoff at. It's probably been on there for a while. But it seems like quite a few people know about this.
Yeah, well, quite a lot of people know about Riki Oh. To say they know about the anime is an overstatement. Yeah, Riki Oh is much, much more famous for its later, I'm going to say 1990 or 1991, Hong Kong film adaptation.
Interesting.
Yes, because even though the story was originally a manga, a Japanese manga, it got adapted as Riki Oh, the Story of Riki.
What a name. That is
great.
the title. That is the title of a 2005 PS2 game right there.
Basically, yes.
Riki Oh, the Story of Riki.
I think they actually made a sequel in 2005, funny enough.
Wow.
But
really?
yeah, anywho, the movie was infinitely notorious in Hong Kong because of the graphic level of violence.
Ah, okay.
I watched it in college probably 5 times.
Wow.
I've written a few papers on it in college because they're like, write about a film, and I chose Riki Oh, the Story of Riki, and my professor was like, what the fuck, Rob? And I'm just like, you guys asked for a film that was controversial.
You would.
Yeah, so I just did that, and so
everybody's writing about like, oh yeah, you know, like Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, like I don't know, like Citizen Kane.
Yep. And like,
and you're
guys,
like this bullshit from Hong Kong.
but
Riki
guys,
Oh,
look at how ripped Riki is.
he is very ripped. He is a very strong man.
And so Riki Oh somehow came to mind recently, and then I realized there was 2 anime adaptations. I'm like, again, very much in the realm of Vampire Hunter D, where there's the famous version and the not famous version. Let's talk about the version no one gives a shit about.
Cool. That's great. I was hoping for that one.
Well, I mean, I don't even know what people's reaction to this fucking thing was. I didn't really research too much what people thought about the animes. Like, there's 2 OVAs, you know. And, you know, it's a 1986 OVA from what I think from what I read. Or it's definitely mid-80s. So, Bouncy, welcome back to the comfort zone of this show.
Weird, dumb OVAs that we found.
Weird, dumb 80s OVAs that we found.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So, everyone take a seat, lean back, relax, because, you know, let's fire off on some of the old favorite hits here, because...
Let's get going, baby.
Because also, I just love how this it's weird because this kind of show is becoming more relevant now with stuff like Grappler Baki and Kengan Ashura, just these overpowered, overly jacked dudes punching people and being ripped for no reason.
Yeah.
It's so funny to watch and go like, why is this even remotely relevant to the current anime landscape? It's this weird subgenre of these ripped dudes just being dudes.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to get that one.
Yeah,
personally,
I don't know why.
I don't know why. At this point, I've not watched Baki or Kengan Ashura, but I've heard a lot of recommendations for them. I don't know if people like them ironically or not yet. I haven't been able to discertain. Because people are like, yeah, it's, you know, so wild or it's so dumb. And I'm like, people use those terms when they don't know how to feel about a show.
Yes, I use them all the time.
Yes, you do. I have noticed. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's just so funny that how people feel weird about, or people just like, honestly, sometimes people just get so excited to talk about a show they don't really think about how they feel about them yet. And now being on a podcast, I have to do the opposite of that and actually have a clear opinion.
And actually have an opinion and a feeling about it. It's funny because most of the times I think I do, and then sometimes we talk on here, and then by the end I'm like, oh, I changed my opinion. Look at that.
But then again, also let's also acknowledge the fact that we are human beings, and it's
true. This is true.
People are allowed to change their opinion. In the age of the internet, it feels like people are like, no, how you feel when like you're 13 should be the way how you feel when you're 37. I'm like, if that's true, you need professional help because you have
It's a problem. It's a big problem.
We have a couple friends who haven't really haven't changed any opinions for like the past 12 years of their lives. I'm like,
this is true.
Dude,
you gotta change something, you know.
Times change and people change, and that's okay.
Change. It's okay. If you used to like a certain kind of music in 2005, and you don't like that kind of music anymore, fine, man. That's cool.
That's just what happens with time.
Whatever.
Yep. Sometimes I question, like, do I still like anime? I think I do.
Yeah. Oh, me too. All the time.
Oh, that's so.
Oh man, but no, I often come back, not to salmon bush this whole thing, but I do often come back to a love for anime sometimes when I've done a lot of stuff with Crunchyroll over the past year, and I always get these press emails of like new shows coming out like on the platform, like new movies and whatnot. And, most of them I'm like, oh god, another one of these, huh? like another fucking isekai bullshit coming out. And then once in a while there's an email where I'm like, oh shit, I gotta see this. Mostly it's been the Attack on Titan string of finales that has been encompassing for 3 years. But they released a trailer of like the final season, part 4, movie number 2. And this is like the last thing. This is the last thing.
Okay.
And I saw the trailer come out, and I was like, oh, good. I like anime still.
For me, it's all the oddball shit that gets me really interested now. All the stuff that's just so creative and wildly original. I'm like, okay, where are we going with this now?
Like, what are you doing here?
Or the stuff that I can't decide, or the stuff that I have emotional investment in, because like there's still no official word on when Spirit Chronicles season 2 is getting announced, and I'm pissed.
Oh my god.
I'm legitimately excited for that, because that show is the most perplexing mixture of like absurdity and charm. It's
so charming for no reason. Like
no fucking reason.
Like if it wasn't charming, it would just be like any of the isekais that we've watched. But it has that character, and that's good, you know.
It just has so much character for no fucking reason. There's very little characteristics that any of these characters display in this OVA, because that's a problem with this OVA. It moves at the stupidest fast pace I've ever seen, where scenes just happen.
And
there's no time in between.
It really happens like it really is like somebody wrote it out not as a script but as a chart. Exactly. It's very like, okay, this, then this, then this, then this, then this, and then that's it. And then the opium farm burns.
And this is a very weird part for me, because I did not expect this OVA and the movie Riki Oh to be the same story, but it was. Like, oh shit.
It was really. Oh, yes. Okay. And I didn't know what we were gonna get actually when this first came up, because I obviously, as most things, went in blind, had no idea what was going on.
Right.
As per usual, as is what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't exactly expect that it would be in prison the whole time, because the beginning of the OVA, right? Yeah. Riki gets in a bit of a kerfuffle with some guys. He kills a gangster, or like badly injures a gangster, one of the two. Yeah, and then he gets sentenced to
badly beats him, because he gets sent to jail for assault, not murder.
Yeah, for assault, exactly, for 9 years. Mm-hmm. He was defending somebody, so I don't know, but still, and the other guy attacked first, but whatever. 9 years, long time. So I honestly expected, as with my what I usually get, I feel like from this situation is, oh, okay, you're going to fast forward out 9 years. He's going to be out of jail. And you're going to kind of throughout the OVA have his like new life where he's like back on the streets doing stuff, but he's going to have flashbacks to his prison life. That's what I thought was going to happen for the whole time. But nah,
it's the opposite of what we got.
Just went right to prison. And like it was even so much in my thinking that was going to happen, that within the first 2 scenes, I was like, wow, they're starting with flashbacks. Cool. But no, that's
You just refused to accept the movie was taking place in a prison.
I just did it.
Funny.
I just did it. I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. So they're giving us some context to what he's up to now. That's cool. And I was like, but he looks the same age here. Okay, well, whatever. And then after about 10 minutes, I was like, oh, no, we're just here. We're in prison, baby. Like, we're here the whole time, huh? But yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of things in the beginning where I I made some assumptions, as I said.
Okay.
I made that
Yes.
one assumption. The other assumption I made was, okay, this character is just like an OP, strong, silent type who's just going to run roughshod through everybody, have one minor conflict, and then achieve over it in the end. And, the second one was kind of on the money.
Yeah, that one wasn't too far off, no.
Not too far off, because that's pretty much what happened. But, I mean, Riki Oh gets sent to jail for 9 years, and this warden guy, you're instantly made out to hate this guy. He's such a dick.
Sniveling, conniving.
Oh, yeah.
Then you learn he's running an opium farm out of his prison, and he's using the outside gangs to muscle doctors to buy opium from him, which hence, there's a little girl that Rikioh tries to save outside of jail, but she dies from the low quality dope.
Yep.
And so he goes to beat up one of the gang leaders, and he's like, well, I'm here, I might as well just burn down this opium farm. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
In the name of better drugs. We need better drugs.
And the whole prison is privatized. They bring that up at one point.
Yeah,
the whole prison industry is privatized. And I'm just like, what are we going for here?
They went into a lot of weird stuff that I was like, so is it political? Is it a statement? Or is it just some buff dude beating up guys? Pick one, guys.
Well, that's the weird thing here, because I don't know. The very light political affectations just highlighted how stupid this whole thing is. And which I kind of enjoyed, because it's them dropping some political ideas on a table and then resolving none of them. Which I found infinitely hilarious. It's like
it was really funny. He was like,
bad drugs are bad.
He's like,
I'm gonna go punch this dude with fingernails. It's like, huh?
Like, these are problems.
Punch.
And then that's it.
And then he just punches somebody.
They're just still problems. What I thought was interesting was Riki Oh's motivation for kind of hanging around the jail, because by all intents and purposes, like, anytime this dude is in a workout seat, he breaks walls. So he could have left.
Punch through a wall at any point he wants to, and the movie's over.
Anytime. But he chose to stay, and there was this interesting kind of overlap of Riki Oh, like, wants to be in jail because it's the closest he can get to hell.
Yeah. And he wants to, like, push himself and, like, other tough guy anime bullshit. I'm like, all right, fuck this.
It's kind of weird. 'Cause I wanted to like that part, but I was also like, but you're just in jail. Like, what is like, you can leave whenever you want.
What's the intent here? Yeah.
Why do you need to be here? Like,
if they made it clear he was fighting for justice inside the prison, like, because like they kind of were getting that way at one point, because like they established that there are many people in the jail who didn't really belong there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's the guy who went to jail because he accidentally hit someone with his car while driving his pregnant wife to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's about to get parole, but then one of the prisoners spreads terrible rumors about him. He gets denied parole, and then he kills himself. It's like, oh, that would have been compelling if the pacing wasn't, this happened, and this happened, this happened.
Yeah.
And now he's dead. Now Riki is placing the toy train this guy made for his kid in his dead arms. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It would have been compelling. I thought it was still a little. It was good. I still felt the intention, but I guess at the end of the day, this is the 48-minute OVA, so you gotta just bang out stuff in here and just make people buy the manga, essentially.
Yeah, that's actually the biggest point I want to mention, because we've talked about this a lot before, but I'll say it again really quick. In this era, you had two different types of OVAs. The ones that were meant to be standalone products for people to buy, or the ones that were advertisements for its source material.
Right.
This one was very much, let's cram as much of the manga in here as possible. We don't give a fuck how it plays out. This is exclusively for the manga readers. And I'm like, But it does make it very interesting, because now, instead of looking at a show that was like supposed to be just self-contained, we're looking at very much a cultural artifact of the time. Mm-hmm. Even more so than other things we covered, because like Ixer 1 was just made really to sell Ixer 1 itself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This one is definitely a territory of buy this manga.
Right.
You know, like your favorite thing in the world, Angel Sanctuary.
Angel Sanctuary. This one actually reminded me quite a bit of Dog Soldier.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Just
animation stylings, time
delivery, animation, like all that stuff. Yeah.
It was better animated than Dog Soldier, but that's not saying a lot.
It was.
Dog Soldier is still up there with one of the worst pieces of like actual animation we've covered on the show.
Yeah, very bad. Very, very bad. Not even as bad as Hana no Asukagumi was better.
The Dog Soldier?
Barely.
That's actually a very interesting debate because I'm not
because they had some unfinished stuff in there, so it was generally pretty unfinished.
Ooh, that's actually a great conversation to have. I'm not sure which one was worse off the top of my head because some of Hana no Asukagumi looked so ugly.
It did look very ugly, but I guess that's the difference. Like, is it because Dog Soldier was the same throughout and it just looked terrible?
Yeah,
Hana no Asukagumi had some peaks and valleys. It had some that worked and some
Yeah, unfortunately, though, those valleys weren't very high. Sorry, those peaks weren't very high.
Yeah, the peaks were more like speed bumps.
It's like when you have a comforter over you when you're sleeping, but you pop a Woody and like a little sprouts up a little bit.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking in my brain just now.
Were you?
No.
I was about to say, I would love if you said yes. I'm thinking about it right now as your microphone it's like tilted towards you a little bit.
just me pitching a tent. No big deal.
Like, oh, no. I mean, I get it. Rikioh's kind of hot, but...
Dude, he's so hot. They also my favorite
so
part of this OVA is when anybody says Riki Oh, because they're like Riki-oh! And I'm like, dude, what a boss ass name, Riki-oh. Riki-oh! Like, it's so cool. And anytime anybody said Riki-oh, I was like, man, you can only yell that name. You can never be like Riki-oh. You always have to be like Riki-oh!
You can never be like Riki-oh, can you pass the salt?
Yeah. Riki-oh, I need salt.
And so when it comes to the live action version of this, right? I thought I remember the story. I didn't at all because I completely forgot about all the opium stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember from the live action version really is we get a lot of them here is the famous shots, like the famous kills, where where that one dude he had his hand he was tripping and there's a little piece of wood with the spikes out of it. Or the nails out of it.
Mm-hmm.
He puts his hand to block it, but the nails go through his hand and still hits him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just bleeding all over the place. And Ricky's like, "Yeah, dude fell. Sucks to be him, dork." It's like Riki.
It was pretty gruesome at times. Yeah, they had the the part that I was like, "Ooh, no!" It brought me back to our time that we went to see GCW in Atlantic City, and
I was just thinking about that the other day.
Really? Oh, great! Me too, actually.
Yeah, I had Pink Whitney, so naturally I think of four strapping young lads having Pink Whitney Cosmos in the middle of Atlantic City.
In the Hard Rock Hotel, baby.
The Hard Rock Hotel. Before we go see some deathmatch wrestling and then go back to the hotel, have more Cosmos to kind of forget about the evening. As the bartenders look at us in amazement, like, "Who are you guys?
What did you do? Why are you dressed nicely?"
Yeah, why are you dressed nicely? This is Atlantic City.
You don't come here to do that. Like, sweatpants are fine, guys.
And there were a lot of people in that casino with sweatpants.
There were so many. Oh my god! I'm happy we weren't one of them. I'm happy we kept the looks good that weekend.
I mean, we showed up for no fucking reason, but still, it was great that we did.
We showed up in Hawaiian shirts and blazers.
Yeah, I didn't have a Hawaiian shirt on me at the time that was clean, so I just wore a red blazer with a black shirt underneath it. But
that worked too.
Yeah, it was a good time. Fucking weird time though.
Oh, but anyways, in that match, the main event, Nick Gage. Smashed John Moxley on the head with a fluorescent light tube many times. But one of them in particular, the little glass fragments from the light tube flew into the crowd as glass dust, and I was like, oh no. And this scene in Riki Oh, where Ricky's fighting one of the block leaders from one of the prison sections,
like north or south wing or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, north wing. I think north wing. The north wing head. And the manager of the jail is just like, I just need somebody to fucking kill Riki Oh. Like, who's gonna kill Riki Oh for me? And this guy is like, I'll kill Riki Oh. Yeah.
Was that the guy with the tattoos?
It was. And he tried to first, which I thought very creative and very gruesome, was to throw glass in his face, but grated glass, very fine glass to just get all in his eyes. I'm like, oh no, I saw that happen and I was physically ill. I was like, oh no, that's innovative and terrible. And then, Riki beat him because he was able to wash out the stuff with water.
But I was so sad because they didn't show the guy cutting his stomach open and trying to strangle Riki with his own intestines.
Oh wow, that happened in the movie?
That happened in the live action movie and the manga, yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah,
damn.
Gross stuff. Manga and the live action were just gross.
Nice and gross.
Yeah, by this point, I think Black Sun's been released, so yeah, we're very the gross stuff is in our mind right now.
It's the gross stuff. It's an era. It's a gross era.
Well, the thing with Rikio, it was because this was the 90s and all the colors were bright and ultra saturated, so it wasn't. The blood was more akin to like a Monty Python than it would be like a gross Kamen Rider Black Sun, where it's like, kind of trying to be more realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was very like bright and out there. Very, very red.
Very, very red. So you know exactly the type of blood I'm trying to reference here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, Barney, hey bud.
Oh, hey, you got a dog over there? I got a dog.
Yeah,
over
he's
here.
just hanging out.
Mimi.
Just hanging out. I think
Come.
I'm going to do dinner at some point soon, trying to figure that out.
But yes. So Riki beats everybody until he gets faced with his worst nightmare, a metrosexual man.
Who in the live action was played by a woman, which is a great touch.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fun.
Oh, Mimi.
Yeah, Mimi. Yes.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. Dogs.
We're just here playing with our dogs.
Hanging out with our dogs.
It's 4th of July, and if you can't hang out with your dog on America Day,
Yeah, I mean, what can you do if you can't hang out with your dog on America Day?
eat hot dogs.
Don't you mention my dog like that?
Oh my.
But Riki Oh fights the.
We're just gonna glance over that. That's fine.
Yeah, he fights.
Now I want a chili cheese dog.
The metrosexual guy, and the guy pretty much kind of murks him, kind of takes him down with one punch.
Yep.
And then Ricky's getting electrocuted, and they're like, Rikioh. And the manager of the jail is very, very interested in learning about Rikioh's past. And he's like, Rikioh, you grew up you went to such a nice school, and like your parents.
You were a music student. Weird.
Yeah. Your dad's a merchant, a very successful merchant. But then you disappeared for 2 years. What happened then, Rikioh? What happened? And Rikioh says nothing because he doesn't care. I wish that got revealed. That would have been cool if they just said what that was, because they spent a little time on like explaining his backstory, but they never really, they
never really flushed it out. No, and I guess that might have been an active decision on their part. They're like, fuck it.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, either way, Rikioh breaks out, kills all the bad people and burns down the opium farm, and
This is proving very tough to talk about because, like, not a lot happened in this. It was just...
Not a lot happened.
And, which is fine because it wasn't good. I mean...
No, it was... it wasn't. But was it bad, though?
Okay, this is the time where you and I have to split hairs because that's kind of our job on this show is to split hairs.
It is our job.
Was it bad? Hold on, I'm gonna let Barney out. Hold on. Somehow my door closed. Yes, we're doing this. You could pause the episode if you want, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure out that on the edit.
That's okay. You just go close your door. I'll keep the public entertained. So, guys, Rikioh's biceps. Honestly, picture just like a very, very hard, very wide peen. Basically, that's
fucking. So it's what?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you continue.
Oh, I saw your mouth moving. I'm like, is this the same scenario like in the quintessential quintuplets episode where you just go on an unrestrained rant?
I was about to, but I constrained myself.
Don't. But no. Really, this is definitely very weird to me because I've seen this story before in a version that actually took its time and was paced a lot better. So comparatively speaking, I could call this one bad, but I'm actually not going to. Because it was goofy enough and fun enough on the animation side, and the story here, the story elements we got were good. They actually, you know what? No, fuck, I am going to call this bad because it just wasn't done well. It just really wasn't. It's the same thing with Hana no Asukagumi.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, characters were there were some cool elements and fun moments, but the thing just wasn't constructed well. The pacing is my biggest fucking thing. Because I always talk about things being too slow. This was too quick. Do you know how fast you have to be in order for me to think it's too quick?
It's too fast, right? Yeah. It was really fast. And it did. I will say the watch was painless because by the time I started to be like, this kind of sucks, it ended. So that was good. So it went really fast in that regard.
It did. After like the 20-minute mark, it started to speed up a little bit, but still, like, all the important stuff was so glossed over.
Yeah.
And And it's one of those things that's a little disappointing because there's a cool story element here. There's kind of interesting dynamics and characters here. You know, the kid with his tongue got cut out, for example.
That's right, that kid. That was pretty cool.
There's a lot of cool moments in here that could have really got flushed out, but no, it was just presented in this current form. This is not a good product. Good elements, but, you know, just execution just wasn't there for me.
Yeah, good ingredients, but bad dish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. How about you?
God. Like, did I didn't like love it. I didn't like it, but did I hate it that much? Like, I
didn't hate it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was good. I think it was bad.
No, it wasn't good.
You're struggling with calling it bad?
I'm struggling with calling it bad, but I think I will.
Okay.
It just like it didn't have enough to really
push it,
make an
past
impact.
The point of not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really have much to save itself. I think if you ask me in a year what this was about, if you said to me, "Hey, do you remember the plot line of Riki Oh?" and I'd be like, "What the fuck is Riki Oh?" So I think a bit quite forgettable, very fast paced, too fast, as you said.
Right. And I think a year is too much. I think you're gonna forget it in like 2 months.
Yeah, probably. It's narrowly bad.
Give me one scene from Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Fuck. Kill me now.
This is becoming more of an advertisement for the rest of our episodes than it actually is about Riki Oh.
It is. Go listen to Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
We can plug our own show on our show.
Yes, we can.
That is okay.
Of course.
But I will say, whenever I go back and look through all of our episodes now, because we're getting up there in terms of episodes, my friend, we're doing a good job of consistency here. I look at Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, I'm like, what the fuck was this show?
How did we find that? I think it was on like the season trailers.
Summer trailers, yeah.
Summer trailers for last year. We like picked it to watch because it was just so dumb sounding. The title was just so clickbaity that we were like, well, I mean, I gotta see what this is all about, huh?
It's the Buddy Daddies conundrum where it's like this title.
At least I remember the Buddy Daddies plot line. Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. I just remember there was some kind of lizard who talks.
There was a lesbian.
A lesbian.
There was a lizard and some weird dom sub fetish stuff going on.
Oh my god! If like the lizard yaoi community has not taken that term yet, they need to take it. Lesbian, please take that.
And I just remembered one of the scenes I thought I remembered from Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. I just realized in my head it was actually from Kamikatsu. So I'm like, I have no idea what happened in the Biscuit Hammer.
They were very similar in their style, I think.
It was the little girl character in both who were like very dommy.
Yep.
And they animated the one scene in Kamikatsu where she just like puts her toesies all over the guy's chin. I'm like, this is fucking wild.
Yeah. Good times we've had.
Good times we've had. They're still going. I think we just took a moment.
We'll have many more. But yeah, that was Riki Oh.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it.
It's bad.
It was bad. Fuck it. It was bad. But, you know, we find shows that are bad for a reason because they're either very fun to talk about or they serve some historical purpose. But the rare third category is that they leave no impression and there's a reason why they're forgotten. This one is one of those where it's like, okay, there's a reason why no one talks about this one.
Exactly.
You don't need to watch it.
You don't need to watch it.
If you want a good prison Hong Kong like action movie, go watch Riki Oh, The Story of Riki. Don't watch this.
It's bad.
Wow, oh my god, what a rousing podcast of anime conversation. Am I right, my compares? Am I right, my weebdom? Anywho, yeah, you can send us a message if you want. Did you like this podcast? Did you hate this podcast? Do you want to kill me? Do you want to drench me in Calaxosaur blood and watch me drink it? That's fine. Just send us an email at badanimepod@gmail.com or DM us on our Instagram at badanimepod, all one word. You can also find us on YouTube as Bad Anime, and you can leave a comment on whatever video you want to leave a comment on. We'll read them all anyways. We don't care. I love you. Kiss, kiss.
Simple Equations Podcast Network.